And we're live. We're back with season 2, Pixels, Sprites and Nonsense.
Hello.
The podcast is back. So this would be episode 27, but it's also episode 1, I guess. So with me, as always, are the boys. It's Vash
Heyo.
and Metzman. I hope you
Hello.
guys had a great summer.
Yeah, I am.
Well, yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
Hot summer.
Oh yeah.
Hot,
hot.
and then a lot of rain, and then it got hot
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And not good for your allergies.
No.
Wow.
Definitely not.
Last weekend was devastating for me. It was really annoying. I could hardly open my eyes. So
The hay
That was
fever
fun.
was bad for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the temperature went down a little. It's just slightly over 25 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
Europe and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's
Weird night.
it's the low 20s. It's the evening now. It's getting to the high 10s tonight. So we're gonna sleep well for first time in weeks.
Oh yeah.
Sleep is good.
Okay, so today our main topic will be games that we talked about, or games that used to be run by one company or development studio and moved over to another, and that could either be a good thing or a bad thing, and we're going to discuss that in length. Obviously, yesterday some stuff had to happen. Like, we planned this 2 weeks in advance, and
Yeah.
Always.
then yesterday, Nintendo dropped a direct, and Sony felt left out, and they wanted to join in that same playground, so they did a state of play.
Yep.
So we're
And-
gonna talk about
and-
that as well.
Yeah. What we're not going to talk about is one of the biggest news items of this week, which is the Unity thing.
Oh yeah.
But it's a mess. So
We
we'll see
can-
what happens.
We can talk about that shortly, but we don't want to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
an hour discussion just about the Unity
We
stuff.
have a lot on a plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but let's roll the intro and then talk short, a little talk about what we did what we played over the summer.
Yes.
We'll be right back. And we're back, and my refrigerator is running. Otherwise, all my food would be spoiled.
Yeah, make sure you
So-
catch it. That's funny.
Okay.
No. All right, done.
So let's start a little poll in chat, guys. Is Vash gonna be here next episode? Put your votes in now. Okay, let's start with Metzman. So we just discussed you had a pretty good summer. So, but what did you play? My
Well,
headset just broke.
I didn't play like a lot of different games, so that's good. I have not a lot of these things to discuss. Of course, we all started playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yeah.
So,
Same.
which is an amazing game. I'm still in Act 1, and that also has a reason, which we'll all discuss later. But yeah, Baldur's Gate, amazing RPG. Of course, everybody's already, the critics are already agreeing, and everyone else is already agreeing that this is one of the biggest games of this year, which is kind of funny because it was one of those games that was in early access for so long, and it was like on people's radar, but it wasn't like one of those big booming titles that we would expect
No.
crawl out of its cave and be this humongous dragon that it is.
Yeah.
So everybody was basically pleasantly surprised, and I did as well.
Yeah,
I
and
was as
kudos
well.
to Larian because they knocked it out of
Yeah.
the park.
Yeah, exactly.
Larian Studios did amazing work. Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because, of course, the early access was usually, I think, Act 1. And
It was just Act 1. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what they managed to do, of course, with that quality-wise is crazy. It is also considered the best act of the game. The second act is supposedly really good as well, and then the third act had some problems in the beginning.
But they've been patching it like crazy.
But they've been patching it like crazy.
Yeah.
Larian Studios is on a roll, like we said. So yeah, I'm playing a wizard.
Nice.
I decided to sort of make an entertaining guy, a very nice guy, a little bit of a Joker, but
Right.
but yeah, a very friendly wizard that likes to be on the good side of people. That was my character basically.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm playing through Act 1. I'm still in there. I'm still like I want to clean the board sort of. So I want to go for all the objectives and find all the side quests and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's why you're still in Act 1.
Yeah,
it's the same
exactly.
here. Like I've played this game for over 20 hours. I'm still in Act 1.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm doing. I'm having a blast. But yeah, I had to pause because one thing is that I wanted to wait until like Larian patched up Act 3. So when I eventually get there, it's going to be like the best it can be at that moment.
And it's a game you can take your time with.
Yes, exactly.
I feel
it's and it's great. It's everything I expected kind of to be like a D&D experience. You have a tremendous amount of choice in every little moment. It's like not only in the combat, but of course in the character encounters. Every conversation is just a think thing. What am I going to do? What is my what are your character's motivations? How do you want to play your character?
Yeah.
You don't always want to pick what you think is the best choice. You want to pick what you want to pick. That if you play it that way, I think it's the most fun. And that way you can also play evil characters and stuff.
Yeah.
So
how's your save scumming going?
I save scummed, I think, only twice.
Really?
I think.
The RNG is amazing in this.
And maybe I think in a combat encounter where I got screwed over like really badly, but never. No. I've got one rule: I will never save scum during dialogue choices and stuff.
Right.
Okay.
So I will accept my story consequences. But if of course, combat, you're gonna fail once in a while.
I mean,
that's. I don't consider that a bad
wipe.
No, you just have to restart the encounter. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do find myself save scumming quite a bit.
And then, I had some amazing moments in the game where I used skill to push like a boss character off a cliff. And, if you're lucky with your positioning, and, he fell into a pit of deadly spiders. And I said, hey, good luck with that. So that was really fun. That sort of things you can just do. It's a game where you just look at your environment. You see what the possibilities are, what the objects are, what you can toy with.
Yeah.
And like a normal D&D campaign, you ask your dungeon master, what do I see in this room? And then you go in and interact with that. So that's really fun. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I romanced the character, of course. Actually, there were like a lot of candidates for romances.
Oh,
it turned out to be a bug as well.
That was a thing.
Yeah, that was a thing. But then, so I had one fling with one character, and then I decided, you know what? I'm not having the greatest time with you. I think you're a great character to be around, but I want something else. So there was another candidate, and I decided that she's going to be my main focus for romance.
So who was the fling that you left behind?
That was names. Now I haven't played in a while. So it's the Chitari, the orcish looking girl that you that you free that you meet in the beginning in the opening. I had a fling with her, and apparently she's a little rough.
Yeah, she's very rough. Yeah.
So that kind of made me decide, okay, you know what? For a relationship, not my type. And so I decided to move on to another character.
And that's got to be Shadowheart, right?
Yeah.
I think Shadowheart's like the favorite.
Which of course. I mean, there's many more characters to come, right? So
yeah.
But the thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep Shadowheart as I'm trying to stay true to her. I think that's gonna be my thing.
I had the same thing. So what happened to me was we had a party after we saved the Emerald Grove, and there was this little party, and Gil, the male wizard, he wanted to show me something after the fireworks, and I thought he is, he has some issues regarding magic, so I thought he was going to tell me more about that. Yeah, he wasn't. He was just very, very thirsty for me. So I had to let him down easy, and then I moved on to Shadowheart, as most people actually do.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is with this game is that they they had a bug, and
Yeah.
all the characters were really horny apparently. So they fixed that, but there was a lot of comments of what these characters only want to fuck, and I'm like, okay. And I had that encounter myself, so I heard other people talk about it, and that was funny to me because no, it's not that bad, right? But turns out it was that bad. So that was really funny to hear
Yeah.
when I saw the news. I was like, okay, yeah, that explains a lot. It's kind of like Gandhi in Civilization One going too far to one side, and then suddenly becomes this nuclear power. You know,
Yeah, then he became like evil.
yeah. So he was too pacifist in the game, and a bug came into the game, and then suddenly he just started throwing nukes around.
If he gained enough pacifistic points,
Yeah.
he would actually go into the minus, which would make him
Mm-hmm.
aggro like no
Yeah.
other, and he would just be a warmonger.
Yeah.
So that would
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
been a fun part of Civilization, but so the same thing kind of happened here. So yeah, the numbers were wrong.
But they fixed it. I think
They
we're
fixed it. I think
the,
yeah.
you
I
know
think that like 2 patches, right?
they did 2 patches so far, and the third one is coming fairly shortly.
Yeah, and each
Yeah.
patch has like 1,000 bug fixes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like pretty big.
incredible.
Yeah.
So
Like
these,
I think the first patch had like 1,600 fixes or something like that. It was crazy.
yeah, it's amazing.
It's
And that for an
crazy.
independent studio,
Yeah.
like fully independent.
Yeah, but
That's
it's not a
incredible.
small studio.
Oh no, not anymore. Nope.
They are not just in
They-
Belgium. They have multiple offices over
yes.
multiple countries.
Yeah.
It's a big studio. They don't
Yeah.
just because they're quote unquote Indian independent, don't make the mistake
Oh no,
thinking that they're
like I
actually
said,
small.
they're not an indie studio. They're an
I'm
independent
just
studio, but they're high quality now. So yeah. But the
so
next
yeah,
game
it's
will be of a
definitely a
smaller
good game.
scale.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a good game. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's Baldur's Gate. We should
Yeah.
have left this one for last though, because that would have been a perfect segue into our main topic. But
Right.
let's move on to number 2.
We'll come back. Yeah, so I was playing Baldur's Gate, but then, of course, there was another game that came out, and that's
Mhm.
our little space adventure, Starfield.
Yep.
So, yes, Starfield. I like Starfield. I like Starfield a lot. It's definitely a Bethesda game.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, that's the thing that you read everywhere. It's like you just expect a Bethesda game.
Mhm.
It has the bugs. It has the quirky things.
Yeah. Not a lot of bugs though, compared
No.
to previous games.
Although I did see a lot of bugs.
Mhm.
It was usually just visual, little visual things
Mhm.
like characters
Oh
floating
yeah.
up into the air.
Or getting stuck in a ceiling because they exploded up into.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but that's just
Um,
collision stuff. That's fine.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
and
standard.
there's a lot of like characters not looking at you when you're talking to them,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But overall, the experience, I'm kind of enjoying it. I like the combat. It's fast
Yeah.
paced. It's the AI is not very bright, but
No,
I don't know.
that's a problem.
And I also have an overpowered weapon at this point. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember where I got it, but it's like it has fire damage and it kills like people within 3 shots. I
That's nice.
haven't like only the boss characters that you fight sometimes. Those are the ones that take a little bit more. But
Hmm.
I'm also not playing on very hard or anything. I decided I wanted to just go through normal first because I do
Right.
feel like I'm going to be replaying this game, playing different
Mhm.
character with
Yeah.
because there's so many choices in the skill trees
Oh,
that
yeah.
I feel you can have like completely different experiences.
Mhm.
I decided to get myself or make myself like an action-packed character, a soldier character basically that likes to use guns and I specialize in ballistics and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I'm having a good time. There's a lot of fun stuff. I like the lockpick mechanic that they
Yeah, that's
have in
good.
this one.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Challenging.
it's a fun little
It's a
puzzle
fun
basically
minigame,
every
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And you can technically not fail them if you're like patient enough with that. because you can like pre-plan your picks.
Yeah.
And then you can commit to your choices. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. I went with the explorer route.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
I went for an explorer. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Scanning and stuff.
I did a little bit of the main quest because there was this thing where people said, you just focus on the main quest. Like that was the first thing that came out of the reviews.
Yeah.
Focus on the main quest first, do the side quest later. And then, of course, there were people like Co Carnage and others was like, no, don't do that. Just focus on what you want to do. It's fine. Just go play things, do side quests, just have a good time. Because I don't know what it is yet, but there's like a whole new plus mechanic new game plus mechanic at the end. It's like something happens, So, and that's where people thought, oh, well, you have to focus on the main quest because it makes the side quest experience better or something later. But yeah, I didn't listen to that.
It does unlock new stuff later.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the main campaign, like the outpost stuff, and that's So having every system for opened up to you would help perhaps in later side quests.
Yeah.
So I also heard good thing about the Vanguard's quest.
Yeah.
So
I've like one of the biggest things I've done so far is I've gone through the Ranger quest line, which is kind of fun, like becoming a ranger for the like more like the Fallout experience, basically, the New Vegas experience, where you're like a cowboy kind of character. And it kind of matched with my skills, so I thought, why not? Let's do that. And I just finished like the first big quest in that yesterday.
Nice. Okay.
Of course, the game also has romances, and yes, I've got wedding plans already. So it's actually my next thing I'm gonna do is get married. So that's kind of fun. I'm having a ball. Like one of the things that people were like hanging on so much with this game is that the procedural planets and the all that stuff and how you can explore every planet and random locations. And one thing that I've learned is that you just don't focus on that. Just focus on playing the game and doing quests. Just go from quest to quest. Pick up all the quests. Do all the things because the quests are the most fun in this game. Like the exploration and the big planets is fun. That it's there. And if you're bored, you can just like go to a random planet and make some nice photographs. But the procedural planet thing it's not a focus of the game.
No.
It's just a cool thing that's there for you to explore if you want to. But yeah, it's just fun to just play it like a Bethesda game. Just go for quests, and then you'll have the most fun. And I'm not very far into the main quest because of that.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna pick up the main quest again after I get married or something because.
Cool.
I don't know what that does, by the way. I have no idea what kind of consequences that has. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my Starfield experience so far. I'm not very far in because I also got distracted again by my multiplayer addiction game, which is Tarkov.
Yeah.
So I've dived into Tarkov again with a little crew of people that I play with.
Okay.
The hook got me again. It's so stupid. This game is such a love-hate thing. I just it just keeps me going. It's one of those one more mission type things or one more try type things because you die a lot in this game. I'm playing it. It's sometimes you have these euphoric moments where you kill 2-3 guys in your own. And sometimes you just get killed within the first 5 minutes. It can be really frustrating, especially when you bring a lot of gear with you. Tarkov will always be one of my favorite games because it's such a unique experience. It's so hardcore, but it makes it so tense. It's so unique. But
it's rewarding.
It's rewarding. playing so many wipes, you'll keep playing the same quests, of course. So that's one thing. But then again, every raid is different. Like different things happen. You might not even find any players. You might not even find any. You might not encounter any enemies on your missions if you're careful enough. It is still at heart a survival game, not a shooter. You kind of want to avoid fights unless your mission objectives call for it, where you have to make certain kills or whatever. But yeah, it's very fun though. The longer you play, the more wipes you play. Of course, you're going to get more experienced. You know the maps by heart. You know where even like the missions, where you have to go, what you have to do.
Right.
So that kind of makes the game more fun to play as well. You don't have to have 6 websites open anymore just to figure out where to go next. But yeah, I'm having fun with that. And other than that, I think that came out as soon as we stopped our first season of the podcast, is Rise of the Triad. I'm not sure if I talked about it.
No, I think we talked about it.
Yeah, did we?
Yeah, no, not the
okay.
game, but the fact that it was coming.
It was coming, right? Okay, so Rise of the Triad is a old school FPS. It was supposed to be the next Wolfenstein, and then things happened, and it turned into its own franchise, which is
and it's bonkers.
Yeah, it's a bonkers game. The engine itself is kind of like an in-between between Doom and Wolfenstein, because you have it's very simplistic maze-like levels, but it does have also different heights and stuff. There's crazy weapons in it. You have like drunk missiles, and you have dog mode, like a power-up that turns you into a dog, and god mode, which turns you in like a floating god that shoots fireballs. Yep. It's just nuts. But yeah, they released a Ludicrous edition, which is like a remaster, which has all the episodes. It has all these kind of quality of life options.
So many options.
A full level editor.
The baseball bat.
Yeah, the baseball bat is in there too. Yeah. It's basically the full package. So if you ever as a kid played it and you want to replay it, it's the good thing. It's done by like by New Blood and by Night Dive Studios. It's like a big collab. Even Apogee helped a little bit with it because the rights were at their house, I think. But yeah, it's great. So I'm having a lot of fun. But that's one of those games that I play in between when I'm watching podcasts, like the other boomer shooters I've been playing.
Just a fun boomer shooter.
Yeah, the fun boomer shooter stuff. So yeah, that was me. That was my games I played over the summer.
Cool. So Flash, what did you play over the summer?
Well, I'm gonna keep it short. Because there's not really much to talk about, because I got a PlayStation 5 finally.
The big boy.
So I'm happy. And I've played Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales as one of the first games. I finished it. I love it. I didn't platinum it yet. I might at some point. It helps that it's on PlayStation Plus. And it's just a fun game. And of course, I had to try out Astro's Playroom as well. Just a fun platform game that familiarizes you with the controller and other functions, and it's just a fun nostalgia trip as well. Like
it's one of the best platform games I've played in years. The gameplay is fun. There's speed running in it. Literally, you can there's just an option to speed run some levels.
Yep.
Literally everything and every level is based around a certain PlayStation mechanic. It's just fun. It's for a free game. I would have paid money for this, and it's free. It came free with the PS5. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It comes pre-installed. It's such a fun title. I had some issues with the monkey though, the robot monkey at the start. It took me a bit to realize that what was going on, but once you do, it's fun. It's great.
Okay, and, interesting. Because my 5-year-old can finish this.
No, I got it. I mean, I was like, okay, wait, how does this work? Oh, right, that's how it works. And it was just funny. So, but it's a fun game. It can be challenging as well.
It can be, but they're like infinite lives. So, like I said, my 5-year-old finished this game.
It's not. Yeah, I know. It's not that hard. It's just figure it out. And
You probably
but-
did better than Kotaku. Huh?
probably. So that's a lot of fun, and also played Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield because it's on Game Pass, and yeah, I played some other stuff that I already was playing on the PlayStation. So yeah, now I can continue on the PlayStation 5. So that's cool.
Nice.
Nice
That
stuff.
was my summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to
Yeah,
talk
and
about
you.
the games I played over the summer because I played a lot of Steam Deck and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of smaller games. So I'm just going to stick to the games that I played either this week or in the last few days. So I had a birthday like a few weeks ago, and my sis got me some Nintendo eShop money.
Oh.
You know, one of those gift cards. So I picked up TMNT Shredder's Revenge, the Dimension Shattered Dimension DLC,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
fantastic.
You mentioned Shell Shock.
Yeah, that one. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's basically turning the game into a roguelike. So what
Yeah.
happens is you just play random levels where enemies swarm you, and you have to defeat those enemies. They will drop gems, and when you collected enough gems, like you need to collect 60 or 50 gems, and either they're blue, green, or whatever, and
Mhm.
that would level your character, and you would get new abilities to play. At the end of each and every stage, you either get an upgrade, so you can actually play as Shredder or as one of the other bosses in the game.
Mhm.
It has its own health bar, and when you deplete that health bar, you return to your original character. It has 2 additional characters. I didn't really play them yet because like my kids pick, so they pick their favorite color. So I played a lot of Raphael, like Leonardo, red and blue. But yeah, that was just fun. It's like $7. I already owned the game, so yeah, easy play. And the other thing that I started, which came out this week, is the Crew Motorfest. So the heat came down, so I decided to move back up onto this room. That's why I pressed pause on Baldur's Gate and pressed pause on Starfield, because this room was way too hot. Didn't want to play any of my PC games. But it came down, and yesterday I started playing the Crew Motorfest, and you could play the 5-hour trial. You can play a 5-hour trial this weekend.
This weekend. Yeah.
Or you need to have Uplay Plus, and then you can play it as long as your subscription lasts.
Yeah.
So I played it, and and if you guys remember, the people that listened or watched our podcast before, we did a benchmark of this game back when it was in beta, and it wouldn't go over 15 frames.
Yeah.
So I played it on 4K 120 yesterday.
Nice.
Without issues, and I had the game cranked to max. So it definitely wasn't my computer, it was definitely their build.
Okay.
I was looking into buying a new computer, and then I realized I could actually run this game maxed out on 120 hertz on real 4K, and I'm like, I don't need a new computer yet. I'm absolutely fine.
No, you're totally fine.
I'm absolutely
Sometimes
fine.
it's just a game. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was literally just a game. So I've been playing I played it a little bit today, played it a little bit yesterday, and I actually went for the Uplay Plus for at least a month just to go through this game, because it's just that much fun. I'm a big fan of Forza, and this is basically Ubisoft's version of Forza. Unfortunately, I thought this game was just gonna be cars, because literally all footage they showed us was just cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are still boats and planes in there. So
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm not really happy about that. I would have loved it was just cars, because that's where I think its strength lies. But yeah, the other stuff is unfortunately still there.
I did enjoy the Crew too, with the boats and the plane stuff.
Yeah,
so
I'm not really into that.
yeah.
But that might
I
change.
know.
That
Yeah.
might change.
I know.
I'm just.
There's also bikes, so that's pretty cool.
I'm kind of okay with bikes, because they're still they're still driving.
Grounded. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No, I hear you.
But yeah, I already had a plane mission. I already had a boat mission. So yeah, unfortunately they are still in there. But yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the game is really fun. So that's it for me. I'm just gonna continue playing this game.
Yeah.
Probably
I'll try it
after
out
the
this
show.
weekend as well.
Yeah, I saw you
So,
actually booted up like earlier
well,
today.
Yeah, I tried to boot it up, but I keep getting a crash
Oh, that's
keeps
great.
crashing. So,
Okay.
but it's on GeForce Now, so yeah, I think I'm gonna play it that way because I have no other choice. Somehow it just keeps
How
crashing.
can you
It's
play it
weird.
on GeForce now if you don't own it?
Um, because of the 5 hours.
That works
And
on
if
GeForce
yeah,
now.
and
Okay. I
yeah, and if I activate the UPlay Plus as well, I can play it there as well. So yeah,
GeForce now is really weird.
yeah, it's
Very
it's
weird
really good.
service.
It's pretty good now, especially with they also added Xbox stuff, so I can play Starfield
Yeah.
because Starfield doesn't run well on my PC because I don't have an SSD.
Oh yeah, you need an
Yeah,
SSD for that game.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
requirement.
So I didn't upgrade yet. I
I
was
think an
going to,
SSD
but
is going to be a requirement for most
yeah,
modern
and then
games.
not a SATA SSD, but like the new ones, the M2 stuff.
You need an NVMe drive for sure.
Yeah, NVMe drive, 100%. SATA SSD isn't as fast.
No, because SATA SSD usually runs up until 500 megabytes, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
While NVMe drive can run up to like 5,000, unless you get
Yeah,
like and the latest gens are even up to 7,000.
yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah,
It's
there's
really
a big
good.
difference.
Yeah,
So SATA is like the way of the dodo right now.
yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
then we're moving on to the next thing, which should be the main topic.
mm-hmm.
Or we're gonna run through some news first. That might be.
Yeah. You want to do some news first? We can go quickly through.
Mm-hmm. Like
Just
a state
do a
of play
quick, short one.
wasn't a lot.
No, and I think we wrote down some highlights things, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we can just go quickly through it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just the things we
Opening the
like to
Word
see.
doc. There we go. Okay, so for me, the highlights. Let's start with the Nintendo Direct. Chronological order and stuff. So for me, there were just 3 games that actually stood out. One of them was Princess Peach Showtime. I
Right.
think that game looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, her own game, huh?
Yeah, well, so she had her own game back on the DS.
Oh, right.
They did
Yeah,
a
yeah,
game. That game
that's
is
right.
crazy expensive right now. If you want to buy it, it's like 90 to 100 euros or something. It's nuts because nobody bought it, and I'm
No.
probably thinking the same thing's gonna happen with this game. My kid, my 5-year-old, she loves Peach. Peach is her favorite character, so she's definitely gonna have a lot of fun with this. I think it's just gonna be like a nice blend of Kirby and Mario. It's gonna be more Mario-esque, but the changing of powers and different costumes for different levels is gonna probably feel very Kirby-esque. So I don't know. It just looks cute. It looks fun. A very
Even like
light game.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Paper Mario-esque stuff in there as well, with all the stages and stuff. Kind of a vibe.
Yep.
And yeah.
Next up, since you were bringing up Paper Mario, Paper Mario 1000 Years Door.
We were discussing this game. Remember when I said I lost it and I was so sad about it? And now, of course, there's going to be a remake, and I don't have a Switch. Why?
I don't know. I can hear an emulator in your future.
Maybe if there's a good one. I think
there are a few good ones already.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be talking about those things, but yeah,
no.
there are good emulators.
No, I think I would prefer it just to play it on the original platform, but
well,
maybe I'll wait to the next one.
I'm kind of on the fence about this game. I really do enjoy Paper Mario: The 1000 Years Door. It's definitely my favorite Paper Mario, and I still own the original. But I will definitely still get this version because I just came to the conclusion that I have no way to hook up my GameCube anymore. Like I gave away my last TV to Vosh.
I told you,
and he told me I can have it back, but I'm just gonna but where I'm gonna keep it? There's absolutely I can't keep it anywhere. I don't have the room for another TV. But my current TVs, they don't have AV out, and having those HDMI splitters.
Yeah.
They give lag, and this is a game that you don't want lag on.
Nope.
Because
that's true.
Because you're gonna need to have these precise inputs for your defense and attacks.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
that's what I liked. I like the combat system a lot from this game.
And if only GameCube games were running on Wii U, we would have had a chance. But they are not. You know, you
Yeah.
can run Wii games, but you
True.
can't run Wii U. So I will just re-buy this game. I'm thinking of selling my GameCube collection, just because there's no way I can still run it
Right.
through normal means. So I'm not. I might sell this game to buy this game, and probably make a couple of extra bucks on it because the game is still crazily expensive.
Gosh.
No, the game is like $200, man.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I know.
Yeah.
You can
So
make something nice of
I
that.
might just sell it and keep some spare change to buy the other games I will never have time to play.
Exactly.
Like Unicorn Overlord. Yeah, we're keeping up with the segues. Unicorn Overlord looks like a very interesting game. I'm really into the turn-based tactical type games, and this is one of them. The art style looks interesting. It has unicorn in the title. It looks very much like a weird blend between Fire Emblem and something like Civilization. It's more 4X-esque.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks interesting. Apparently, you can build a giant armies, and it looks like a really interesting tactical game.
Yeah, I like the big art that they have for the battle scenes, where everything with really big detailed sprites on them.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yes,
Looks really cool.
that's Vanillaware. It's such an amazing style they have for that for their
Looks
games.
really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for me on the Nintendo Direct. The
Yeah.
next up is Metroid.
Yeah. So, of course, you know me. I like my classic games, and I like it when they remaster because game preservation. And yes, they announced a Tomb Raider trilogy remastered, which is the original 3 games from PlayStation/PC.
I love that I
Um,
talked to Vash about this yesterday, and I literally said the only dot in the presentation was Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
So
Like I
enlighten
said,
me
we're not.
why you think why you think this is
Yeah.
great.
why do I think this is great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's of course, it's nostalgia.
True.
It was one of those. It was the era where 3D was just new, and you had games like Quake, which brought the first-person shooter to 3D. But around the same time, the original Tomb Raider came out, and I remember like a kid from school saying, "Oh no, man, Tomb Raider is gonna blow Quake away because it's like it's full 3D platformer, and you can like climb and jump everywhere and stuff." And it's just, I remember playing the demo for this a lot, and it was just it was one of those games where you just wanted to try to get as far as possible. Like that was the challenge for us, especially because the controls were very new. It was like you had to be very precise with your jumps. Sometimes you had to plan your whole moves because you have to run and jump, and then when you jump, there's like a little delay. Like you have to charge your jump, basically.
My problem with this game is that it's 10 controls.
Yeah,
that's the big issue I have with this. I used to love Tomb Raider, but I don't think it aged very well. They can spruce up the graphics and it looks better, but I'm just not sure that an adventure game like this with 10 controls is going to hit the same as it did back in the 90s. Because this game was phenomenal back in the 90s. Like with this, we never saw anything like it.
No.
It was the first of its kind. It was in that era where we were moving from 2D to 3D, and obviously Quake was doing that and Doom was doing that for shooters, but this was doing that for like a
platformer,
an
basically.
adventure platformer action game.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic that way, but it's really hard to go back to 10 controls and not feel like it sucks. And that's my problem with this.
Yeah, I think it is definitely made. This is definitely for the people that are fan of it.
Yeah.
I guess Zoomers are gonna really hate this game.
I'm afraid it will review poorly.
It will maybe attract people that are interested in the entire history of gaming.
Yeah, of course. That's
even if they're
true.
young kids. I mean, there's something interesting there. The evolution of games is very much present in this series. That is true.
Yeah.
So that makes it more interesting. It's not my cup of tea, but you know.
Yeah.
Actually, like I said, I used to love them. I played the first one and the second one to completion. I never finished the third one, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's something that you can just put a new, a new set of paint on and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it definitely aged a lot in certain parts, and I think they'll keep that too. I'm not sure if they're gonna do add modern control schemes or anything. They might.
That would make it a little bit more interesting.
But of course, they already had Tomb Raider Anniversary, which was an actual remake. With modern controls and all that. That was part of the whole Tomb Raider Legend series of games.
But they changed the story on that one.
Right.
The Legends, they changed the actual lore, so it's interesting to see these games back. But just from looking at the footage, I'm afraid it's still the same old clunky way of controlling.
But it's what you also see in the trailer, and that's really nice, is what they did with Halo as well. Is you have the the back and forth button, so you can see what it looked like at release, and then they have this little coat of paint that they have. But yeah, I don't know. I just put it there because I just love stuff like this. And I will probably buy it on Steam because it's going to be released on all platforms.
Okay, I'm just gonna say something. We can take it easy on the news because after the news, we're definitely over 1 hour. Main topic's probably gonna move to next week. So we can take our time.
Damn, we're taking too much time here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very short.
A lot of stuff happened. So
yeah, very short. Then F-Zero 99. It's the original F-Zero, kind of. But with 99 players, like Tetris 99, basically a battle royale.
It's going to be bonkers.
Yeah,
it is bonkers because it's already out.
It's already out. Yeah. Where if you get hit a lot, or in at a certain threshold, you're gonna explode, and you're gonna drop from the race.
Yeah, you have an X amount of energy, and each bump costs you energy, but you can also replenish energy, and at some point you can get extra stuff, and then you can suddenly jump or fly, drive towards the more towards the front.
Yeah, you can get to a road above this road, and it's easier, and because there's basically there are just going to be a few drivers there. You're going to be able
I think
to
you get your own road entirely. So super smart.
You share it, I think. I think you share it. I think I saw someone play it, and you share it with, because there's going to be multiple people that push it at the same time.
Right.
I think for this trailer here, they did the solo just to show it off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think you share it with other people.
I'm just so disappointed. Because it's not a real F-Zero game. It's
not a new one.
Yeah. But this is I think this is likely done to gauge interest. And
if they
probably we're gonna get a new one.
They could have done it in a different way.
Yeah, but
I think I think this is still because it's still a unique experience, right?
This is not to gauge interest. This is for subscription retention, because it's part of the
that
subscription.
As well.
So that's why they brought Mario 99 back in the day, which they killed off. So I'm not sure if they're gonna kill this off in like half a year. They did Tetris 99, which is still there, which is nice. They did Pac-Man 99, so they had this whole 99 thing going.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's true. It's a funny little thing.
I'm gonna give it a shot over the weekend, and I might actually stream it, so that might be fun. It might be fun if you join in on that one, Fosh, because you do have a Switch, and you do have.
I do have one.
You do also have the sub, so you can.
Yep, I actually installed the game already. So
okay, I haven't because my Switch is kind of full, so I needed to get rid of some stuff.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's probably gonna become a trend. They're probably gonna bring some other games as well.
Yeah, there's probably going to be like a Zelda 99 where you have to go
Star Fox, maybe?
Star Fox 99 would work. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The Final Fight 99.
Next up?
I think, next up, I picked this one as well because I don't think we do see a lot of these. It's like there's a new Contra coming, and it's...
and the last one was really bad.
Yeah. And this one, made by Way Forward, who also did the DuckTales thing.
No, Way
remake.
Forward's good.
And they're very good. And this definitely looks like a traditional Contra game. And it's Contra. You can play co-op. It's
Yep.
run and gun. Spread guns. All that stuff is in there. When I played Super Nintendo in my early days at friends, we always used to play Probotector, which was
The Dutch,
the European version.
version of Contra.
Which
it had
was really
robots
fun.
instead
I
of,
wish they had a nod to it, like, because at some point you
Yeah, that
actually
was
see
cool.
4 players, and if one of them was a robot, I would have really enjoyed that. Like,
Yeah.
a little
Because
nod
that-
to
yeah.
Probotector.
Yeah, that always fascinated me, like the difference between the two.
Mhm.
We used to play that a lot, trying to get to the bosses because we were young kids. We weren't too good at these games, especially because this is quite a hard game.
Oh yeah.
You have to be constantly on your toes,
Mhm.
and it's just, it's funny to see it come back. So that's why
I'm waiting for
included it.
Limited Run, because Limited Run will
So-
definitely
Oh,
work this one out.
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and
So yeah,
if,
that was my picks.
if
So
you
if
already
this
love
one's
Contra, you
success-
can pick up the Contra collection for $5 on each.
Oh,
True. But considering it's Konami, I would love to see a new version of Sunset Riders as well, which is in the same vein.
well, they're doing a bunch of like remakes and things, right?
There's also an original game, something with music from Konami, so that's interesting. Konami seems to be kind of back, I guess.
Yeah, they started up the factory again. So there it is, Contra Collection.
Yes.
Limited Run version. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's neat. So yeah, that was my things that I saw that were kind of neat.
Yeah. So I also had 3 things that were the most interesting to me. But one of them was the same as Benjiro because I love me some Vanillaware. I own all their games, and so that's Odin Sphere and Muramasa the Demon Blade, and what else? Dragon Crown. I picked up the PlayStation 4 version, Dragon Crown Pro, and they're adding all these games, by the way, to PlayStation Plus next week. So that's
nice.
pretty cool. Yeah. So Onosphere Live this year is the updated version of Onosphere. I have the PlayStation 2 version. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is very good.
I still have it sealed. I need to do that at some point.
You can keep it sealed because now you can download it from PlayStation Plus next Tuesday.
I have it on Switch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Vanillaware is very, very good. So Unicorn Overlord definitely got my attention. The combat looks really good. It's very much tactics ogre, so that's pretty awesome. That's one that got most of my attention. Then there was a game based on an anime series and a manga that I really love. It's called Spy X Anya. And it's based on the it's a story of Anya, who is one of the main characters of Spy X Family.
Is it Spy X or Spy Cross?
A Spy Cross Family. I don't know. I pronounce it differently.
I honestly don't know. It's an honest question.
No. I don't know either. Either it's Spy Cross or Spy X Family. It might be Cross because there's also Project X Zone or Cross Zone.
Yeah, that's
whatever. Yeah.
Names.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I should check the Japanese traders, maybe.
I do recognize the character, the girl character.
This is fun because you play as Anya, who is the adopted daughter of a spy. She's part of his scheme to infiltrate and get information out of one of the countries that have been at war in the past. And he finds a partner who is willing to, quote unquote, marry him and adopt Anya. But the father is a spy, Lloyd Forger. Then there is the mother is an assassin for hire.
Okay.
And she is badass. And then there's Anya, who is turns out she can read people's minds.
Oh.
And so you place Anya in school and in the days in her life and that sort of stuff. So yeah, this is very cute, but Anya is just one of the best characters out there. So
It's
this,
I like the visuals.
oh
Like
yeah,
it looks very detailed.
yeah,
And like because we've seen Pokemon and stuff where they
hmm
tried kind of the same visuals, but also the expressions and stuff.
yeah,
Like it's very good because Switch is not a very powerful system, but
hmm
this looks really good.
It really
yeah,
helps if you keep the environments on Switch small, then you can
Yeah,
actually
of
make the
course.
art look really good.
Yeah,
yeah,
The problem with Pokemon is that it's open world.
yeah,
yeah, true.
So
yeah.
they have to render a lot of stuff in, and that really is killing the
hmm
visuals overall.
yeah.
Yeah,
So this game is just it's very much interesting to me. It might not interest to everybody, but if you're a fan of the anime or the manga or the manga, this is definitely one to keep an eye out for. Um,
Mm.
because as I said, she can read minds, and that definitely it comes into the gameplay.
I know that you
So
say that there's a dark aspect to Hunter,
yeah, to the manga, and
to
yeah,
the
you
manga
don't
and the
see it in
show.
this game.
But
Yeah.
this game looks so incredibly wholesome. This is a game I would buy for
Oh
my
yeah, it does.
kids because it
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
wholesome.
Yeah,
And
but don't
now I'm just
it's
scared that I
there's
will scar them for life if I would get them this game.
yeah. No, I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. That there is a chance that might happen. Like I said, the mother is an assassin for hire in one of the arcs. She is. You can really see how good she is at what she does. Um, and of course, the dad is a spy. But Anya herself also gets into several situations that are pretty much life-threatening. So yeah, see the way it's handled, it's just so good, so good.
It might be an
It's definitely one of my
interesting
favorite
one to
series.
keep my eye on.
Yeah,
We'll
I can
see.
definitely recommend the anime series to
And
everybody.
now you
Mm.
have one more that
Spy Bros Family.
I'm actually starting to come around on. I started with hating this game, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually kind of intrigued. It's the Saga game, Saga Emerald
Oh yeah,
Beyond.
Saga Emerald Brilliant. Yeah. So the Saga series is old, a very old series from Square Enix, and it is very different. I have played several of them. Saga Frontier and Saga Frontier 2 are the really good ones. And it's sort of like what's one? Not sure if it was Tales of Mana. No, that's not Tales of Mana. Um, but with Octopath Traveler, you have multiple stories, multiple characters,
Yeah.
and you can take them on in different ways. Saga is was basically the blueprint for that.
Okay.
So it was one of the first where you have like 6 characters and each have their own stories, and you can tag them in any way. And there's also Live a Live, of course, that sort of does the same thing. Um, but I don't know. This looks really good for me. The art style might not appeal to everybody,
It's
The
very
but
unique.
yeah.
A
it's
sort of
very
high
unique.
contrast like
Yeah,
style.
yeah,
Very
and
interesting.
the Saga series always had that. I
Mm.
do know that Saga Scarlet Grace, which I think came out 2 years ago or last year, uh, at least physically not in Europe, unfortunately. I figured out, um, but it's really good.
Mm.
It's really difficult as well. It's definitely a hardcore grindy title that you need to take your time with. I also own Unlimited Saga on PlayStation 2, which back then was very much maligned because um, there was no tutorial. There is no
Oh.
tutorial in that game, and you have to figure out a lot of stuff. But once you do figure out that stuff, and these days you can use the internet, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but once things are explained to you and you know how everything works, then it just clicks. But because we didn't have that, the manual wasn't covering everything. In Japan, there was a guidebook that came out that explained a lot more, and then people figured things out and started sharing stuff. So Unlimited Saga, yeah, it's very much a game that is very divisive. So I hope with this game that you get a bit more tutorial stuff. But
Mm.
I'm expecting it to be pretty difficult. But it's another turn-based game, and I love turn-based games. So the Saga series is one that I definitely will keep an eye on, and especially this game.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I also wanted to mention real quick, sorry, but I know that Benjira also pre-ordered it or backed the Kickstarter. We finally have a date for Ayuden Chronicles, speaking of turn-based games. So from the creators, original creators of the Suikoden series, which is one of my favorite series ever. Yeah, so definitely looking forward to it. It's coming out April 23rd next year. So yay on Switch and PlayStation and I think Xbox as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, on Xbox as well because it's coming on Game Pass.
It's coming
And
everywhere.
yeah, and on PC.
Mm.
So Ayuden Chronicles is 100 Chronicles 100 Heroes. But you know that game has been in development for a while. We knew about that so I'm only talking about games that have been announced on the Nintendo Direct that I'm looking forward to the most. So,
Okay.
yeah, but that's it on my side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on to the PlayStation side of things.
Yeah.
So for PlayStation, they started off with some VR games. We're missing
Yes.
one video though.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters one.
Yeah, let's see if we can pick that one up.
Yeah.
Okay. If one of you guys can add
Yeah,
that one,
you
I'll
can
just
talk about it.
yeah.
No, you can
So
talk,
I'm
and
gonna talk
I'll find
about Resident Evil 4 VR mode. So we already knew that Resident Evil 4 VR mode was already coming to PSVR. They announced it a while back, so it's not completely new.
No.
They did reveal actual gameplay. Obviously, like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, they released Resident Evil 4 VR for the Meta Quest.
Yes.
Which was received pretty well, but it was a Quest exclusive, didn't get anywhere else. Now they're gonna do a free add-in for the new Resident Evil game that came out last year, or actually earlier this year. It feels like last year, but
There's
yeah,
a lot of games this year.
there are so many good games this year. But yeah,
This year's bonkers.
the Resident Evil remake they did, or Resident Evil 4 remake they did this year, and this is gonna be a free added expansion. They also are gonna add the Separate Ways thing, which is an Ada based story, which is kind of interesting. I still need to play for there. Like I said, there are so many good games. There's so little time.
Wasn't the Ada thing like a thing of the original as well, like an expansion?
I don't think so.
I think I remember something in the because I played the. I played the original game not too long ago, and I think there is actually it's a separate chapter where you play as Ada on the island, but I'm not sure if that's the same thing or not.
No, I think there is. No, he was introduced as a support character in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
I'm talking about Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, and in Resident Evil 4, she became a playable character, so she was playable in the game itself.
You know, it's been years since I've finished I actually finished it back on the GameCube, and I never touched it again. So I still need to play the remake. So I guess she was playable, but this is still an additional story. That's what I understand.
Yeah, it was Assignment Ada. It was a
because
separate thing in the original.
Yeah,
Wesker is in
and
there.
Separate Ways was also a thing. Yeah.
So this is
So the other VR game that they actually showed was Ghostbusters. Which actually looked terrible to me.
Yeah, that's why I think I didn't include it, because I was like, okay, we're gonna post highlights, and it was like, oh, God, fuck this.
I like Ghostbusters, but this is bad.
Yeah, I'm a big Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah, but, I would have done it differently as well, especially for VR. I mean, this is
also it's a VR multiplayer game. You have to play together with others. You know, it's just it's a little janky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Because if you look at the original Ghostbusters movie, it's actually kind of creepy, and you know, it's definitely a comedy, but there's definitely a darker tone to it.
It's a dark comedy, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I wish
definitely an '80s comedy.
it would be cool to have almost a little bit more kid friendly Phasmophobia in that sense, kind of in the atmosphere. And this is just full on, like the cartoon series, basically.
Yeah, but my problem with this is, who is it for?
Oh, not even the original cartoon series. There was Ghostbusters Extreme
Yeah, I remember
This is
that.
more like that.
Yeah.
This is more like that one because that was more over the top and that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's like
with weird looking characters,
the weird looking
colorful.
characters that are wearing cat hats. It or
Hmm.
whatever that is. It's not even a
Yeah.
cat. It's like
Yeah,
a
I mean the customization, okay, fine, but
yeah, but it's weird
eh,
customization. It looks
I
very
know.
like it looks like a kid game. First of
Yeah,
all, if you're below the age of 12, you're not allowed to touch a VR
nope.
headset because your eyes are still developing. So keep your eyes
Hmm.
away from
Yeah.
plastering a
Yeah,
screen on top of it.
yeah.
Second of all, kids shouldn't be playing multiplayer games like this anyway because danger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stranger Danger.
So
Yep.
just don't. And this is not the Ghostbusters grown-ups would want.
No.
Last of all,
Exactly.
I'm a grown-up. I have a PSVR here, too here, and I'm not gonna let my kids touch a $600 headset. I'm not
Nope.
the
No.
No.
the way
It's
they
kind of
touch
weird.
the way
Yeah.
they play with their controllers. Like, okay, I'm done playing this game, and they just throw it to the side, and it bounces off the couch on the floor, and I cringe every single time. I'm not gonna let them touch my
Wow.
headset.
Oh
So
my god.
who is this for?
I don't know.
That's what I was wondering. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how did they decide that this was a good idea? But okay.
It's very odd. And they had there was another Ghostbusters game that kind of similar like this.
Yeah.
That was multiplayer.
Yeah.
That one was more
So
grounded, I think,
Yeah,
compared
but
to this.
that's an Epic
Yeah.
exclusive, isn't it? The other one.
yeah, could
Yeah.
be something like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was.
Yeah. So that's an Epic hell.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is a very weird. It's a very weird choice to make this game, just in general.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I'm having some trouble, and I still like the VR2. There are definitely still some fun games out there, and there's more coming. I just don't think this is it.
Nah.
Like the
Yeah.
Resident Evil stuff, because I already own the game, I will definitely take a look at it. But
Hmm.
opening your show with Ghostbusters, I'm not sure if that's the best thing you could have
Yeah,
done.
it was. I think
No.
they just like wanted to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Just forget this game. Okay, let's go to the bigger stuff.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
something else, not VR related, that I think looks absolutely fantastic is Avatar.
Yeah, visually at least. Yeah.
Visually, it
Visually,
looks
yeah. I
good.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
gameplay wise, it's
yeah.
Far Cry. It's just
Yeah.
Far Cry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
of course,
I'm
it's
kind of
a
okay
dream
with.
yeah.
Mhm.
Of course, it's a dream for a studio to recreate something like Pandora. So yeah, they're gonna go all out on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a
I-
little bit
Yeah.
icky about also the storytelling and the voice acting. There's I don't know what it is, but there's something very Ubisoft about how they're
Mhm.
speaking. Like
Mhm.
it's like almost it's very cliche
Yeah, but
movie adaptation
Right.
style.
that's the way the French are writing their video games. It's just the
Yeah.
way it is.
No, but
Okay.
but I mean, for me, I never cared about Avatar, like the original movie, either,
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't appeal to me somehow.
Mm.
And but the
Yeah.
game looks good, but I'd rather play Far Cry than this.
Oh, I think I'm gonna give this one a shot.
Hmm.
I think it might be. Yeah, I mean, the stuff like
kind of
this
looks
where
like
you,
like just a fun, lighthearted shooter.
Hmm.
It's just gonna be a Far Cry game that actually looks pretty.
yeah,
So I'm looking forward to this one.
Mhm.
It's not gonna be like it's
I
gonna
mean,
be my game of the year or something.
no, but
I'm really anticipating,
mhm.
but I will
Yeah.
definitely play it because it actually does look like fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a sci-fi fantasy Far Cry could be pretty cool. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
did like Blood Dragon, so
there's still a lot
that's
of
more
work going into this
sci-fi.
game. Like, especially like you can already tell from the visuals, right? It's like
Mhm.
it might like gameplay wise look like Far Cry, but the
Mhm.
whole environments because it's so different from Earth or
Yeah.
anything with the floating islands and all that. And
Mhm.
I think that's one of those things where yes, it's a Ubisoft blueprint game, but it's still a lot of work to make projects like
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
and like create these complete worlds.
Yeah.
Like I hope this is one of those games that turns out to be better than people expected.
I have a
Right.
feeling
That's
that
what I hope.
this game might actually be so something that even though it is a UB game, or in a UB template, it might actually be something special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
No,
Yeah.
it might just be different enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next up, they showed us Helldivers, which is the guy in charge of this Dutch, because it was a very Dutch accent.
Yeah. I think it is. I think it
No,
was
no.
Johan.
He's
Johan Pilestead.
yeah, no, I think
Oh,
he
different
is
country.
Norwegian or
Oh,
something.
it might be.
Yeah.
It might be
Yeah,
Scandinavian.
they have a somewhat similar accent.
Yeah, it
So,
sounded very Dutch to me, but
Yeah.
Scandinavian kind of tracks as well. You know, they
Yeah.
had knekkebrod, so yeah.
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 Exactly.
But yeah, Helldivers, I really enjoyed the original. But that was more of a top-down
Yeah.
kind of game, and this is definitely a third-person co-op, multiplayer co-op again.
Yeah.
Which I know, you know, the Xbox excels in multiplayer co-op. PlayStation needs more of these kind of titles. Helldivers is a very good game, so yeah, this one I might pick this one up at some point if I can find other people to
Yeah.
play with.
They did the fake comms gameplay demo with the people talking like they were playing a video game, which was very interesting to see again after Ubisoft usually does that stuff with their
I mean,
what's the game?
They did that. Yeah, they did that for the Division.
Yeah, Division. Yeah,
So
that's
I
what
really love
yeah.
the Division though, but you know, that's always cringy and always kind of fun though. So
yeah. I mean, it was funny. Like one of the things at the end, they dropped like a big bomb. It's like everybody in the chat. Why didn't they do that at the start?
Yeah,
it's like they're keeping it like in their back pocket. There's probably a reason. Like, probably have to charge it up or something.
Yeah,
or,
I think that's it. Yeah,
that was really cool. Like what you see here, that you have to help your buddy loading your rockets.
Yeah,
like
for the heavy
actual
ordnance.
co-op features.
Yeah.
that needs where you need assistance.
Mhm.
That's the sort of stuff that makes the game stand out to me as a co-op experience, where co-op features actually are implemented in the gameplay. So yeah. I mean, it looks visually great as well. I like the lighting and just the environment detail. Looks pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's on my radar as well.
Yeah. I just hope the question with these games is always, what are you earning with each mission, and how long does it remain fun to kill bugs in this way?
Yeah,
I hear you.
That's a question I have as well. Like they do show some different locales, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's
already
the problem
good, yeah.
I do have with this is the trailer was very much bro hyped.
Yeah.
Which never happens.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, this is definitely, there's so many co-op shooter games like this. I do believe that Helldivers, it feels like these guys know what's up. Just looking at how complete this looks.
Yeah.
It just has like this polish to it. So I hope it's good. We'll have to see.
Yep. So next up.
I added this new trailer because I think we need to talk about this as well. There is Star Ocean: The Second Story R, and it's a remake of the original PlayStation Star Ocean Second Story.
Okay.
And the Star Ocean series is it has its ups and downs, but Second Story is really good.
Okay.
And they added a ton of new stuff. It uses 2D HD, as they call it now, which means high-res 3D environments and then lower-res sprites for the for the characters and the monsters and that sort of stuff. But they added a ton of new features compared to the original game. And the game, the battles are dynamic. They're not turn-based.
Okay.
In the original game, you would enter a field, a round field, sort of like the Tales of series.
Oh, that kind of
yeah. And but it's very fun, and each iteration of the series is its own story. So, but they're all set in the same universe.
Okay. Yeah. that kind of deal.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This game is coming out later this year, so
Yeah, start of October. Yeah.
Yeah. Throw it on the pile.
Yeah, there's a demo out now that everybody should really check because it's very good.
yeah, I already have
And
it in pre-order. Don't need to check.
yeah,
Guys, I'm
not
gonna
you,
give
but
you
let's
guys
talk
a
about other
5-minute
people.
notice.
Yeah. So, but I really wanted to talk about this one real quick.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine, but we have like 5 minutes left.
All right. Next up.
Yeah. Next
Okay,
up, Spider-Man.
we're gonna glance over Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man looks good.
The world's bigger. It's
JPEG.
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
The map system looks really good.
Look at the game at the end of November. It's gonna be great.
Definitely.
October 20th. Just like
October,
Mario
you're
Wonder.
right. October 20th. I will probably look at it in November
Super Mario
because
Wonder.
I don't have time.
It's gonna be Wonder Spider Day.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like
so
Barbenheimer.
the last game they actually showed was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It looks good. It's just as good as the first one. There's some weird stuff in there, like Zack is holding Cloud at some point. Zack should be dead. They talk about worlds converging, so that's also interesting. There is a fight where Sephiroth and Cloud are working together. There is a lot to unpack in this trailer.
Wait, that fight, I remember that fight from the original game, though. With Cloud and Sephiroth working together. So that's not new.
Yeah, but not against that boss, I think.
That could be it.
They showed Kate Sid working. They actually showed a lot. There's a Cloud on a Segway. We've never seen that.
There's a Segway in this game.
Yeah, there's a Segway in this game. That never happened. And obviously, this part is all new with the degradation of soldiers and their genome. You saw that happen kind of in the first game, which was a deviation from the actual game. So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff to unpack here. We do see that Vincent Valentine is in here. You see him pop out of his coffin.
Not his face though.
You don't see his face, but you do hear his voice. So
and also there's a lot of there's Alexander.
Yeah, they're
pretty
like
cool.
that's Bahamut.
The summons.
There's Odin. So yeah, there are some summons in there that they're showing off. Then there's
saucer.
The golden saucer, and right there. Then there's some people dancing. Here is the golden saucer minigames, which is the Chocobo racing, which is fantastic. Yay. And then there's some kind of fight game. Obviously, there's another. Like this is the weird part.
Yeah, like I said, that's probably part of the world's converging stuff.
Yeah, probably because Zack is supposed to be dead. He's not supposed to be there. And yet he is, and it's definitely still like the same Cloud. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
There's one thing that they did say because there was a small interview about this game. Your save file from Remake doesn't transfer into Rebirth. Because they had balancing issues, so they decided that you have to start anew. It's like it's a new game. The story continues, but your save file will not transfer with you. So if you grinded everything to level 100, sucks for you. But this game is going to be different. There are
also on 2 discs.
It's coming on 2 discs, which is absolutely fine. They're also doing a twin pack, which I'm kind of interested in picking up because I own the PS4 version of the first game. So
I don't own any of them.
That twin pack might be interesting. There's also a collector's edition, but they didn't show it in this trailer, but they showed it afterwards separately, which is $350 and has a nice statue.
I just saw it in this trailer though.
Oh yeah, it is in the trailer. Okay, I missed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like $350. It's extremely expensive.
It's a very good looking statue.
It is a good looking statue, and you can get rid of the wing if you want to. It's detachable. They said that
right.
So I've never finished Final Fantasy VII the original. Do you guys think this is the second final part, or are they going to do more parts?
There's a third part coming.
There's a third part coming. They said it was going to be a 3-part thing.
Oh, it was a 3-part.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, so 3-parter. Okay.
So this is gonna be the middle of the story.
Yeah.
I just you talked about they did an interview, and I was just that reminded me of what they said about Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is going to have ray tracing across 30 FPS, 40 FPS, and 60 FPS modes, and then there's also a VRR 120 hertz mode. So that's really cool.
Yeah, VRR
Yeah,
the way you want to
120
play it.
hertz will
Apparently,
probably
the
look
game
cool.
has a very good engine. Huh?
Yeah,
We'll see.
Very
Yeah.
smooth.
but they have a very strong engine.
Yeah, but I've seen stuff and run at 120 hertz on PlayStation. It
Mhm.
really hurts the visuals, like
No, yeah, I think you did
crazy much.
Gran Turismo, right?
Yeah, and Gran Turismo just looks like shit. Like
Yeah.
you're absolutely fine with running 4K 60. That's
Yeah.
I think that's where you want to be at.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I finished Miles Morales on 30 FPS on PlayStation 5. I'm gonna do a new game plus on 60 FPS. 100%.
Yeah, I already finished all the Spider games, so I'm just
Spiders.
waiting for the new one so I can plat that as well.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
that's
Yep.
it for this episode. We're running a little late. We're trying to keep it to 1 hour, but we still kind of need to get that pacing going.
Yep.
We will learn. We will learn. If you guys have any questions or any pointers for us, please let us know. You can either let us know on Twitch, which is where we're streaming this live, or you can let us know on Twitter. You can and you can find the podcast itself on Pixels Sprites over on X, formerly known as Twitter, and you can find us on Blue Sky now, which is Pixels
As well,
and
yeah.
Sprites. So
Yep.
you can find us over there as well. So let us know what you think of the podcast. We're trying to improve. We're trying to streamline the experience. We used to run for 2 hours. We're trying to trim that down slightly to make it more malleable. So it's easier to listen to instead of you having to, give us a full 2 hours of your time. Your time is valuable, and we appreciate everybody that's here. So with that being said, Metsman, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter. It's X now, so at X.
Yeah, just call it Twitter, dude.
It's just Twitter. It's Twitter. It's at the Metsman. And that's where I live basically. I do stream occasionally, but yeah, if you want to follow my stuff, I do usually get engaged with a lot of gaming news and people's opinions on games because I like to defend the gaming industry because they're usually like seen as the rock stars that should make games good and stuff instead of there's also human beings working there. So
yeah, exactly.
That's it.
I'm so
Twitter.
tired from Twitter and the constant war between Xbox and PlayStation there.
Oh yeah, the
It
console
drives
war.
me insane.
It's the newest trend, and it's horrible.
And everybody who has Twitter Blue has something to say about it, and all of it is just clickbait. It's terrible.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Yeah,
you'll see me fight a lot of that kind of stuff as well. Where
I didn't even engage with those people during doing the console war stuff. Screw them.
I usually respond, and I just ask them very direct questions. Why are you doing this, and all that stuff, and they never respond.
No, they
just
they just
not even the other people
man.
that.
Yeah,
they just don't know. They just
They
just want impressions. They just want the heat. That's what I do it. So it's the stupidest thing. I hate console wars and those fanatic fanboys and stuff. It's crazy stupid.
Yeah. Annoying people.
So Vash, where can people find you?
Well, mostly on Blue Sky now. You need an invite, unfortunately, for now. So it's still a closed beta. But you can find me there and on Twitter under PVBAIKUN. So PV Baiken. So that's the only thing I do right now. I don't stream and that sort of stuff. So yeah. That's it.
Nice. And you can find me outside of Pixels and Sprites. You can find me at Benjiro Akara. And on this channel, I will be streaming more often. We're gonna see if we can get a little bit back into the groove now that the temperature is coming down. we're going to be playing some games. Not really sure what or when, but it's gonna happen within the next few, probably days for 2 weeks, maybe a week,
Right.
maybe a week at most. But it's gonna happen. So, just a reminder, we're not back here each and every week. We decided to make this a bi-weekly show. So we had a little bit more prep time and a little bit more to discuss. And so we'll be back in 2 weeks. So I hope you guys enjoyed our show. I hope you guys enjoyed being part of this show. And
I always do.
we'll
Yeah.
see you guys later.
All right. See you later.
Bye bye.
Take care.